So BFDIA 22 released a few days ago now, and I think it's about time that I finally reviewed it, like I said I would before. I think I've done enough procrastinating for a while. I am someone of the belief that BFDIA is by far the superior series going on at the minute, in fact the best series of BFDI as a whole. So naturally I did have pretty high expectations of this episode, and when I saw the 40-minute runtime, they went even higher. And the end result was... Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the episode, but this is definitely the most flawed episode of BFDIA in a while. But before we get into what drags this episode down for me, let's just quickly talk about the elimination. And the eliminated contestant, that being Pin. And though you're probably expecting me to have a bigger reaction to Pin getting out, but I honestly don't really mind it. I think it works well for her character, especially in this episode. I mean, Pin's been the most hated of the BFDIA cast for a few episodes now, so the fact she managed to last this long is pretty cool. Even if it is kind of sad to see her go, I'm happy that she had a good run in this season. Plus, if anybody didn't see this elimination coming from a mile away, they clearly need glasses, because this was the most obvious elimination in quite a while. So yeah, I don't really mind Pin going here. I think it's a pretty fair elimination, and she'd be gone whoever she was up against, so yeah, I don't really have anything to complain about there. With that said, let's move on to my main criticism of the episode, and that is definitely its length, because 40 minutes is way too long for an episode like this. As is, half the episode is just random filler that doesn't do anything to enhance the episode in any way. Golf Ball's crew was quite unfunny, if I'm going to be honest. The Tornado crew was equally not particularly enjoyable this episode, and the challenge just dragged. It says something when the challenge begins roughly 5 or 6 minutes into the episode, and then it doesn't finish until minute 39, which for this challenge especially just is insane. And to say that most of this challenge is pretty uninteresting is definitely not an overstatement. And it doesn't help that half of the contestants this episode aren't really that interesting either. I mean, Coiny is definitely a lot less interesting without Pin there. And Buck yet again performing horrifically in the challenge for just a support role in the episode, I mean, isn't particularly useful either. Also, the Pin ooze on Pig Yum joke might be one of my least favourite jokes in BFDI history. Like, what were they going for with this? It's just really unfunny. Now I think it's time to start talking about the things I actually did like about this episode, because there is quite a bit. The elimination, as I've said before, was pretty cool and I enjoyed watching it. And the episode does still have some funny jokes, such as Pin saying she can do a cartwheel and then doing a handstand. Why did she do that? Yes, I know she didn't actually do that, it's still funny to think about, okay? The gag where Coiny attempted to jump over this small hole in the middle of the road only to just manage to fall directly through it was funny. In fact, this gag of the contestants being too stupid to just go around was pretty entertaining regardless. Also, where they're dramatically recovering Ruddy and then they somehow managed to type it wrong. Yeah, that caught me off guard. And speaking of Ruddy, while I am disappointed he didn't get to do much, I don't mind much. I'm just really happy that he's alive again. My boy is back. Tennis Ball was also pretty cool to watch this episode. It's nice seeing him in a series where he actually has a brain and thought of a clever way to win the challenge despite his deal with Needle, which technically he never actually broke. It's nice seeing Tennis Ball in a series where he's actually a good character. The best of the final four in this episode for me though was definitely Needle. I mean, she's just a really fun character to watch, and the character growth throughout the season has been very strong. It's a shame she's probably a goner here, but whatever, she's had a good run either way. This was also a very good episode for Pim, following on from BFDI 21, where her relationship with Coiny may have been fixed, but with the game, definitely not. And while she was letting it out by destroying the island that she herself made, just showed just how much she'd gone through and how to actually turned her into quite a horrible person. That is until she's given a reminder that someone's actually gone through worse, and that being Ruddy, because unlike Pin, nobody bothered to recover Ruddy for 3 in-universe years, and Pin's reminder of this is actually a really good move for her overall character. And this is actually her first step into becoming the character we all know and some of us love in BFB. Way more kind-hearted and thoughtful than she's ever been beforehand. And of course we can't talk about BFDIA without bringing up its climax, because BFDIA does have the best climaxes of the entire show. With everyone but Book still in the running to win, this is actually pretty intense, with Needle first enacting her final order against Tennis Ball, before battling with Coiny to be the person to take Leafy to the centre of the earth for that last flag, and in turn forcing Coiny to realise that Needle is no longer a Roebuncher and is indeed her own person. Then to Tennis Ball enacting his plan in such a way that he wouldn't break the contract but would also help him win. Book dying yet another brutal death in trying to save who she thought was the target of Tennis Ball's attack, Needle, only for Leafy to be killed and Tennis Ball to win the challenge. I mean, Tennis Ball was the contestant who wanted to be eliminated the most out of the final 4, but I can't really complain about the outcome of this challenge either. A pretty solid ending to what's a pretty mediocre episode otherwise. That's all I've got to say about this episode. Well, definitely not one of the best in the series. It's still decent, just dragged out. Due to its strong ending, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Flawed, but it's still got a lot to like. And I think I'm going to end it there. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.